Nine Ladies Dancing, performed by Tessa Vale.
I always forget, in those first few breaths before the music starts, that this part of the 12 days ever dared call itself joyful. Lanterns trembled on the edges of the village green, yellow gold and wavering, as though even fire felt uneasy about being here. The children, those yet untouched by the cycle's demands, ran through the snow with shrill, excited cries. For a moment, the village almost looked normal, almost whole. Then, the hillwife stepped out onto the packed earth of the dancing ring, and the last of that illusion peeled away. The binding loves joy as much as blood, she announced, though she spoke softly, as if embarrassed by the truth of the words. She stepped aside. Let them begin. The 9 ladies stood in the center of the ring. Their costumes were the finest Marrowbone could muster. Layered skirts, ribbons that had been bright once, bells fastened to their wrists and ankles. Some were young. Others were old enough to have danced this rite more times than they cared to count. I recognized a few. The 3 Frost sisters, 2 widows, the mother and daughter who looked more like reflections than kin, and the elder matron whose hands always smelled faintly of sage. They almost looked happy. Almost. The fiddles struck their first notes, high, trembling things. I clapped with the others and tried to let myself feel the ritual's warmth. For a moment, I even managed it. The 9 ladies raised their arms, the bells chimed, and the dance began. At first, it was beautiful. They twirled in smooth arcs, skirts flaring like painted fans. The crowd cheered. Someone beside me laughed in relief. Even the dark star overhead, so faint it could have been a trick of the eyes, seemed to dim, as if the rite lulled it into brief disinterest. But that never lasts. Within a minute, the rhythm changed, faster, and then faster still. The fiddle scraped wildly. The drumbeat jolted into a pulsing staccato. The flute, it had always sounded slightly wrong, now shrieked like a creature being wrung out. The ladies kept up. Their feet struck the packed snow in a blur of movement. Bells snapped like tiny screams. Their smiles pulled too wide, too fixed. They didn't blink. None of them blinked. I felt the first wave of dread when Marna Levitt, a widow whose grief had aged her twice as quickly, misstepped. Her foot slid on an icy patch. Her ankle snapped sideways with a crisp, wooden crack. The sound rippled through the crowd. People inhaled as one. Even the musicians faltered for a single beat. Marna dropped to one knee, her face contorted. Her ankle dangled wrong, shockingly wrong, limp as a broken stalk. Her dress soaked dark where the blood leaked into the fabric, but she didn't scream. The dance forbade stopping. She rose unsteadily and dragged that ruined foot and forced herself back into the pattern. Every time it hit the ground, I heard it. A wet slap, a sucking drag. Her jaw clenched so tightly her teeth clicked with each step. Some of the villagers began clapping again, but the sound was hollow, brittle as the frostbitten branches. The tempo surged. Another woman, Alara Wynn, one of the oldest, pressed a hand to her chest. A strange tightness entered her face. She swayed, her lips parting as if to speak, but no words came. She fell. A heart attack. There wasn't any doubt. People stepped back, murmuring, hands covering their mouths. I felt my own pulse stutter in my throat. But then, Alara's body jerked upward, spine rising in a grotesque arch. Her head lolled, eyes rolled back to milky white. Her limbs twitched horribly. She stood, and she danced. Her motions were sharp now, unnatural, her joints cracking with every jolt. Her bells chimed frantically, but not in rhythm anymore, like warning signals, frantic, hopeless.
"Keep watching,"
someone whispered near me. "If you look away, it counts against you." I didn't know if that was true, but I didn't dare look away. The 9 ladies spun faster. One woman's hair tore free in strands, flinging dark ribbons through the air. Another's shoe filled with blood that spurted outward each time she stomped. Their faces twisted, still smiling, always smiling, but their eyes streamed tears that flicked away like stray sparks. The villagers no longer cheered. Some cried openly, others held hands. A few simply stared numbly, as if accepting this was the only shape Midwinter ever truly took. Above, the dark star pulsed, just once, like a lazy eyelid drifting half-closed. Near the end, the music reached a frenzy so violent I half expected the instruments to splinter apart. The fiddle shrieked. The drum pounded like a terrified heart trying to escape its cage. The flute, oh gods, the flute howled until I had to press my hands to my ears. Then, all at once, everything stopped. The music, the dancing, even the wind. Silence clapped over the green like a heavy lid. The 9 ladies stood frozen in place. 7 trembled on their feet. Marna sagged dangerously, blood running freely down her leg. Alara leaned forward, her eyes still rolled back, a thin line of drool trailing from her lips. The hill wife came forward and lifted her hands.
"In motion we bind. In joy we deceive the sleeper. In suffering we strengthen the seal."
Her eyes drifted upwards. The dark star winked. Slow, taunting, deliberate. No one spoke as the crowd dispersed. We simply trudged away through the quiet snow, leaving the 9 ladies standing alone in their ruined ring, bells trembling softly, long after the ritual had ended.